I recently had the pleasure of viewing the Bill Oliver directed film Our Son, starring Billy Porter and Luke Evans. I did get the honor also of interviewing the director of the film. Important themes of the movie is that the theme is family, and the demise of a family is something that is universal. So that is something that I really appreciated watching the film, is that they covered the demise of a relationship and also the complexities involved, of course, when you are throwing in custody and legal proceedings, things of that nature. So that was one thing that I did feel was very universal, and he did a great job of just capturing that feeling, the emotions involved in that demise, no matter what your family looks like. And that's one of the things that I really did like about Our Son. Billy Porter, he did a very good job of just having that emotion. He was basically in the movie, I would say, the primary caretaker of the son. And he really felt very scared and afraid, which is another common emotion sometimes when a relationship is demising and there's a child involved. The primary caretaker has that fear, that sense of loss, that sense of losing control over the child that they have felt that they have done the most nurturing for. And Luke Evans had the polar opposite role, as far as he was the provider, he was the one that worked constantly, and he really was oblivious and clueless to the fact that their relationship was demising in the first place. So that was something really interesting too, just to see his take on everything. And I will give my full review, but here is my short interview with the director of Our Son, Mr. Bill Oliver. Nick, how are you doing, Mr. Oliver? Nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for taking this time to speak with me. I did see the movie and I thought it was really great. I love the performances. The first question that I did want to ask you is, could you share some insights on the inspiration regarding the narrative of Our Son, and how did the story evolve from your original vision, and what themes were you aiming to explore in the movie?
Yeah, so it's it's a divorce drama, and we hadn't seen that depicted or really explored with a gay couple. So we were excited to kind of show something to audiences that they hadn't seen before. And also it was a way to really just show a family going through a transformation like any other family, and explore parenting and relationships with friends and biological families and all those things that are kind of universal, and that we sometimes take for granted, except when something like divorce comes along and you really have to take a look and pay attention to those things. So that became kind of a theme of the film, which is about how we all that sort of the connections there, and how we take care of each other, especially in difficult times.
Right. I do agree. Just from my perspective of watching it, I've been through a divorce and ironically a custody situation as well. And I liked how, as you said, it was universal. So it wasn't anything where you tuned in and you thought, oh, well, this is a same sex couple. It's universal across the board. So I think that was it was depicted very clearly that it definitely was a universal thing. And the common theme is family. Families come in all different shapes, colors, and I thought it was great. My second question was, of course, you have the amazing Billy Porter and Luke Evans in the film. So with the casting, it definitely, these are great actors that you have in there. What qualities did you think these actors brought to the roles, and how did their performances contribute to the overall vision, if it contributed at all? Like, how was it? Because I thought they were great.
Yes, they're fantastic. And, for this film, it was important to us to have openly gay actors in the lead roles, and all the queer roles. That kind of authenticity was very important to this movie. I wanted it to feel very real, very lived in. So, that kind of narrows the pool when you, especially when you need to get big stars to help get the movie financed, which is something that a lot of people don't understand about the movie business. So we were incredibly fortunate to get Billy and Luke, and it says something about the progress that we've made in terms of having out actors play gay roles, that we were able to get this movie made with them. There's that, and I love both of these actors, and it was exciting you know, for me and for them to give them the opportunity to play characters that they hadn't played yet before. Actors get typecast, and you know, it's like, you know, you always want to be able to show a different side and surprise audiences, and they really relish that. So they brought so much to the movie. I mean, I knew that the movie was going to be all about the performances. So from the script phase to shooting, I just wanted to create something for them. Um,
Hmm.
and an environment for them to thrive and do their best work in, and to, you know, not get too much in their way.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I love seeing Andrew Reynolds because I particularly love him. So I was happy
Yeah.
to see him as one of the friends too as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a divorce movie. It's a tearjerker, but we never wanted it to be about suffering or too sad or too bleak or too depressing. So humor was very important to the
Hmm.
film and the writing and in the casting. So, you know, we cast those roles, the supporting roles for with these actors who are have you know, comedic sensibilities, and Andrew was fantastic, and he, you know, he would ad lib some lines that made their way into the film that just, you know, brought laughs, and just even on the set, his presence just kind of lightened everything up. So he's wonderful.
I want to ask you as well, are there any particular aspects of the film or any particular moments that stood out that you're really proud of?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many. I mean, I was so fortunate to be able to tell this story, you know, as a gay man. It's to be able to make a queer film. It's like a dream come true. And so it was almost every day there was something that surprised me or moved me. And, you know, I had to fight back tears, just not even like a particularly sad scene, but just sort of seeing these actors come together. I mean, there's one scene in the film where Luke's character is just talking to his friends about what's going on. And, you know, just I love that scene because it's not really furthering the plot, but it's just a scene of friends coming together and supporting each other and talking. And to have this group of actors there, you know, being very authentic, and you know, I was very proud of that scene in particular.
Hmm. For me, one of the most poignant scenes was when Billy Porter's character was speaking to his mom, portrayed by the
I love
great
that.
Philippa
Yeah.
Rashad, and he was just expressing, like I'm afraid to have him, with him because he'd have such a beautiful bond, with Owen. So it just touched me when I saw that scene because it was very transparent and it just seemed extremely authentic.
Yeah, that is another scene that is incredible. And we shot that scene on the very first day of shooting.
Mhm.
So, you know, sometimes it takes a while to get, you know, going and get into a groove, but to have Felicia come and be there on day one was just like such an honor. And she is so incredibly professional and supportive and not egotistical in any way, that she sort of set the tone for the whole movie. And she and Billy are friends, and so that chemistry was just there already. And that scene is, and again, she also ad-libbed some lines in that scene that are just hilarious. She's so funny, and um, she just brought, like you said, just a kind of truth and humor and that sort of tough love to Billy's character that is just wonderful when that scene comes along.
Mhm. So my last question that I wanted to ask you, what are the particular takeaways you would like the viewers to bring with them after they watch the film? Again, you did an amazing job. It was just very transparent and I loved it. So what particular takeaways would you like viewers to take with them?
Yeah, so you know, Billy wrote us an original song for the movie called "Always Be My Man,"
Mhm.
that it plays over the ending of the movie, and it's sort of the feeling of that song is, you know, one of it perfectly captures the sort of bittersweet feeling that we wanted audience to have, a feeling of, you know, yes, this was sad, but there's also hope and there's optimism. And, you know, just because a relationship is ending doesn't mean that that's not also important and meaningful, and that, you know, uh, the relationships will be okay, just different. So I wanted audiences to come out of the movie feeling, having that sense of relief, kind of, and hope and optimism, and rising above conflict, because there's so much suffering and conflict in the world that we wanted to end on a note of hope and happiness.
Yes, definitely. And you definitely accomplished that. It was a beautiful ending. Thank you
Thank you.
again for your time. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you so much. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.